Welcome back to the D-Bird podcast, coming at you on May 26, 2025. It is a very interesting day to be putting out content in the context of the numerology of the day today. We have a tapestry, energetic tapestry of being both an 8-day because it's the 26th, and I'll always be looking to putting out the content and the energy on the 26th because it directly aligns with my own energy because I'm born on the 26th. So the 26 and 26 match, and ideally you'll always be looking to want to match and synchronize your energies with whatever day, whether it's putting out content on a YouTube channel like I'm doing now, or actioning something else, or doing something else, actioning something else, putting out into the ether something else that directly aligns and synchronizes with your own energy. That is always the most optimum. So before I get into more of to a little bit go more in depth into, before I go into more depth regarding the numerology and energy of the day, I just want to welcome everyone who's coming in. I see someone in the comments already coming through. ADP, good to see you. Thank you for catching me live. Yeah, it has been a little while since I last did a live stream. Although I did do a conversational stream with Corey Costa from Corey Costa Crypto Coins from our beloved Hex and Pulse Chain community. So if you haven't seen that stream, I definitely recommend you hop over to either his channel or on my YouTube channel as well. I've got that stream that I did with him, which was about a week ago, maybe just over a week ago. So let's get straight into it. So definitely the first thing that I definitely want to establish and to bring to people's attention, especially if you're new and you're not too familiar with what's going on in the Hex and Pulse Chain ecosystem in crypto, Hex has reached a pivotal milestone in its lifespan, in its total lifespan since it launched in December 2019. So, and that milestone is that it has reached 2,000 days of flawless uptime, flawless operation, never having any issues with regard to the code, fully trustless, decentralized, immutable, permissionless, all that extremely important stuff with regard to what crypto and DeFi should be. So that's a really, I want to congratulate all the Hexicans who've been around, who are still here, following content like mine or other influencers, streamers, content creators on social media, that we're still here. It's been, it's been a crazy, brutal, elongated bear cycle for all of us, and even not just us as Hexicans and Pulsicans and people in the Hex and Pulse Chain community, but any community that has any kind of spiritual or liquidity correlation with Ethereum is definitely has been feeling just experiencing a much more brutal bear cycle with regards to the altcoin sector comparatively to previous cycles. So definitely have to put that out there. It's an incredible milestone and I'll touch before we get into the Sui hack, which is Sui is one of the centralized exchanges that a lot of the mainstream influencers in the crypto space have been aggressively promoting for quite a while now, and there has just been a massive hack. Or if you want, you can categorize it as a hack, or you can categorize it as an extreme security vulnerability in one of its most major smart contracts of one of its so-called decentralized exchanges that are on there. And basically, however you want to label it, whether it's a hack or whether it's some kind of centralized vulnerability. It's even whoever it happens to be out there that's trying to promote it or categorize it or define it as decentralization. It is absolutely not. And as a result of this hack or whatever you want to call it, we're talking like upwards of $200 million plus that's been extracted out of that ecosystem. And not only is a huge percentage of that is basically unrecoverable, but even with regard to the quantity of money that hasn't been extracted, basically whatever money that hasn't been extracted by the hackers or whoever's responsible for exploiting that vulnerability in the SUI ecosystem with its main decentralized exchange smart contract, extracting all the money out of liquidity pools. It's the big players in that ecosystem, whoever they happen to be, have basically announced that they've actually gone in and paused transactions. There's been some kind of centralized infiltration which is a really bad look, especially if you happen to be an influencer or someone who's been paid off to talk about this blockchain ecosystem, who have been presenting it as a decentralized blockchain when it clearly isn't. Because if it was decentralized, you wouldn't be able to have some kind of entity that can step in and pause or manipulate behind the scenes what the crypto ecosystem is even doing. And this is again a very important and a shining example of what centralization. There's different ways of defining decentralization in crypto, but the most important aspect of decentralization when it comes to crypto is the level of security risk. And so the main reason why I'm bringing up this debacle with SUI is because this kind of hack or this kind of centralized penetration into one of the most pivotal smart contract / code pieces on the blockchain, this just wouldn't happen on Pulse Chain, because Pulse Chain doesn't have these security risks. It is 100% decentralized. The validators are 100% community oriented and community operated. And it just doesn't have these vulnerability issues that a whole heap of other blockchains have, SUI being the prime example, especially now that it's been hacked and all the issues. So I can't emphasize enough how important it is for all investors, whether you're a new investor, old investor, and you're just, you're navigating the complexities of the crypto space, to really do your due diligence when it comes to understanding the different layers of decentralization and the different layers of security risk involved with crypto. Because there's landmines everywhere in crypto and DeFi being short for decentralized finance. So it's a real shame, and I feel naturally going to empathize for all the people out there that have gone in to the SUI ecosystem and other centralized ecosystems, still putting themselves massively at risk, and not necessarily still to this day not understanding what it means to actually have a strong security posture and really to take security seriously. And that includes, coming back to the expression of not your keys, not your coins, understanding how to use hardware wallets, understanding how to, just the basic principles of not leaving your money sitting on centralized exchanges and centralized platforms where there's admin keys. An admin keys is basically a mechanism by which centralized entities can literally have full control over what the centralized exchange, what the centralized platform, what the centralized blockchain ecosystem can do or can't do, which is the antithesis of crypto in the context of Satoshi's vision and what decentralized finance is supposed to be. So anyway, so yeah, and another big milestone that needs mentioning is on May 13th, which I hadn't, when I did my last stream, it was just before the 2-year anniversary. So yeah, it's very important to establish the mention of the 2-year anniversary since Pulse Chain's launch. So congratulations to Pulse Chain and everyone involved in the ecosystem who are doing everything within their abilities to get the word out about Pulse Chain, despite the extensive gatekeeping and suppression of content surrounding what's going on in Pulse Chain network. So yeah, so we crossed the a massive threshold, and there's also Pulse Chain 100% uptime, no issues as well, just like Hex. So it's really cool that we've had the 2,000-day milestone of flawless uptime and operation for Hex, and also 2 years of flawless uptime and operation for Pulse Chain as well, proving yet again that everything that is directly associated with what Richard Hart has built with his products, they are 100% sound and safe and secure to operate on. And another thing to mention is not just the decentralization and the security emphasis that's put on Pulse Chain and Hex, but also privacy as well. So there are all kinds of privacy features that are enshrined by Richard Hart, but also a lot of the builders in the Pulse Chain ecosystem, which you won't see in other blockchains and other crypto ecosystems at all. So let's just quickly see. Yeah, Eddie P comments. Good morning. I think everything is falling into place for an explosive run on the whole ecosystem. 100% agree with that. There is, yeah, we still have, we're almost into almost into June now. So there's about 7 months, 6-7 months left, 2025. Historically being, 2025 would be marking the bull mania year. And yeah, let's, on that subject, let's quickly go over to get some price updates happening for the Pulse Chain and the Hex ecosystem. So right now we have Pulse Chain is currently 70% above its all-time low, which is at 4 zeros, just under 404. You've got PulseX, which is the primary decentralized exchange on Pulse Chain. PulseX is nearly 315% above all-time low. You've got Incentive Token, which is the reward token, which is the reward token that is rewarded to the liquidity providers on the PulseX decentralized exchange. That is up nearly 350% from the all-time lows since Pulse Chain's launch, currently at $1, trading at $1.76. And you have Hex on Pulse Chain, which is currently at the price of just over 0.008. Which is roughly 170% above all-time low. So everything is definitely firmly in an uptrend. Even just locally, where are we? Just in the last sort of where are we at? So in the last 24 hours, it's definitely marked a sort of a little bit of a local low, and it's been uptrending. So definitely hugely bullish on for the rest of this year for the entire ecosystem. What else? So we've got another big announcement. I want to give a big shout out to Hex Scout, which is one of the biggest and most important builders and entities in our ecosystem that have been supporting Richard Hart loyally and aggressively for years, and they've put out an exceptional product, being hexscout.com, which is a portfolio tracker and provides a whole body of analytics as well, specifically tailored around Hex and the Pulse Chain ecosystem. I use HexScout all the time, and they've just broken the news that they have now provided the facility in partnership with Ramp Now, which is an on and off ramp facility, whereby people can now purchase Hex, and I'm pretty sure the others are in the pipeline. I think the native gas token for Pulse Chain being PLS. I think that I just saw an announcement earlier today. I think that PLS is also now being as well as Hex, is fully facilitated to be purchased directly as an on and off ramp via the actual HexScout website. So hexscout.com, HEXSCOUT, is one of the major primary hubs for everything Hex related, whether it's you're just checking, you've got a whole bunch of laddered Hex stakes and you would want to just check the progress of your stakes and all the numbers relating to that. Yeah, so it's got an on and off ramp now built in to their website, and which is, yeah, it's an exceptional and a powerful step in it's really headed in the right direction, and I'm sure there's going to be more and more tokens. I mean, at the very least, we will see all the Richard Hart core coins that'll be supported through this on and off ramp. I'll just do a read of the official announcement tweet that came out. And so it says, Hex is now directly buyable for the first time, a milestone for Pulse Chain. We're excited to announce that the first direct purchase option for Hex is now live. A large part of the world, just the US is the only exception. So this on and off ramp is 100% fully accessible for crypto users worldwide, with the only exception being the US, but it makes it clear in the tweet that they're heavily working towards facilitating US crypto investors as well, being able to on and off ramp directly as well, using this on and off ramp. So yeah, it truly is a quantum leap for Richard Hart and the entire Pulse Chain network. And yeah, so given just the nature of the bear cycle, any of these bullish and positive news updates that come out for our ecosystem really helps to galvanize the sentiment of the community overall. So yeah, it's beautiful to see that. And oh yeah, definitely another thing that needs to be announced and reinforced is that, which in my opinion is massive, is the Pulse Chain sacrifice, which basically is comprised of a very, very large amount of ETH, which has only been served as a positive element with regard to being potentially massively bullish in terms of positive upside price action going into the future for Pulse Chain. And it's currently sitting at 166,303 ETH, and it's number 2. So it's basically been officially marketed and advertised by a neutral party with regard to all the major, the largest entities holding the largest amount of Ethereum anywhere that's public. So you've got Ethereum Foundation at the top with 265,000 ETH. Pulse Chain is second, and then under Pulse Chain you've got Coinbase, Golem Foundation, and Gnosis DAO. So the Pulse Chain sacrifice treasury of Ethereum is even larger, much larger than the Coinbase treasury of Ethereum, which is huge. And we've already seen, it was roughly a little over a year ago, we already started to see benevolent action being taken by this Pulse Chain sacrifice treasury entity in terms of rotating economic energy from this entity into the core coins on Pulse Chain, being Hex, PLS, PulseX, and Incentive Token. So because we've already clearly and evidently seen benevolence demonstrated by this entity, we can only extrapolate that and deduce and conclude from that it's going to be there's going most likely, again, this is all still all speculation, but I can very confidently speculate that this entity is going to serve to be an extremely bullish factor for Pulse Chain going forward with regard to adoption, price going up, things of that nature. So, and it's a big deal that that specifically this Pulse Chain sacrifice treasury entity has been listed so that the entire global crypto market can actually openly view and publicly see this, so that you don't have all these other shady actors all across the wider crypto and DeFi ecosystem that won't be talking about this and will be either willfully or inadvertently, by omission, concealing this fact that this is actually the case. So, yeah, it's massive. So, another thing, I'll probably just finish on this because I don't want this to be the stream to be going for too long. So we have already, just in the last week or so, been seeing big numbers of Ethereum being bridged over from Ethereum over to Pulse Chain. And the really interesting part of it is that it's numerological in nature, because a lot of these bridged transfers between from Ethereum to Pulse Chain have been in the numbers of 55.55 ETH, or even up to 555.55 ETH. So whoever this entity is, it's emphasizing and it's wanted to action energetically this specific number in the context of, so there's clear intention behind the specific amount of these quantities of ETH that's being transferred, which of course once it gets transferred into Pulse Chain, it becomes fully embodied into our ecosystem, and it's nothing but bullish from there. So, and of course, the number 5, especially in the context of 5555, because it's a passive and it's a signal to people who are in our ecosystem who are familiar with the significance of the 5,555-day maximum length stake that you can stake Hex for, because 5,555 days is the maximum length stake that you can stake Hex tokens for. So that's there's no coincidence there, and it's a powerful synchronicity, and it tells you that there are people in the ecosystem that are very aware and familiar with how to utilize vibrational energy, aka numerology, to their advantage. And so I think I'll just quickly go over the comments and see who might be in here. Addy P continues with more comments. It's great to see you up in here, man. Hex Scout have been awesome, and I look forward to trying out the direct on ramp. Yeah, likewise. Also writes, beating the SEC and now being shown as number 2 on the reserve list is huge. all pieces falling into place, extra fuel for when we take off. Exciting times ahead. Absolutely. So if others aren't going to be coming in to stream, I know this has been a relatively spontaneous stream, but I'm definitely going to be increasing my frequency with regard to the number of streams I'll be putting out. So I'll just touch on one more news item. Where was it? Oh yeah, so yes, one other news item that needs mentioning with regard to what's going on in the US is, even though there's a lot of really positive things that the Trump administration is doing with regard to crypto, easing a lot of aspects of regulation connected to the crypto sector. There is a specific act called the Genius Act. I'm not sure if it's actually been pushed through yet, but there again, despite the positive nature of a lot of the things that Trump administration is doing, there does seem to be still a war going on that's trying to be waged on stable coins in crypto. And naturally, the central bank, the central banking cartel, and the banking industry that has such a massive stranglehold over the financial world as a whole, and so that they need to, apart from other chokeholds or strangleholds they try to do, that they try to implement in terms of trying to maintain either front door or back door control in decentralized finance protocols. This war on stablecoins is definitely taking place, and they're basically, and if you look at it through their lens, they don't want to have any kind of decentralized stablecoins in real decentralized ecosystems like Pulse Chain that can potentially generate yield in the decentralized crypto realm without the legacy finance and the legacy banking world having some kind of control over it. So it's going to be interesting to see how. So definitely remain vigilant on that. And if you're not too familiar with the importance and relevance and or just the general importance and relevance of stablecoins in crypto, and the specific role that really important role that stablecoins serve in crypto and DeFi, definitely do your due diligence. And anyway, in a nutshell, the main function and role of stablecoins is in providing the ability to de-risk on chain, to be able to de-risk. So to basically go from risk on to risk off while remaining in the blockchain world without having to off ramp, without having to risk holding any kind of centralized stable coin on a centralized exchange, or having to off ramp into the regular banking world just for the purpose of accessing fiat currency. So yeah, and there's a lot of talk around that, and so that tug of war is naturally going to perpetuate itself. But I think at the end of the day, just like it always has over the many years since Bitcoin's inception, the decentralized, especially in the context of Pulse Chain and what's being built on Pulse Chain, and Pulse Chain essentially being the number one decentralized, security-focused, privacy-focused ecosystem. No other ecosystem / blockchain is going to come close with regards to Pulse Chain's respect and honoring of security, privacy, and decentralization. So it's going to be interesting to see whether Richard Hart even potentially launches his own stablecoin, which a lot of us have speculated that has naturally been in the pipeline for a long time. Some people, still kind of speculate that there are forks of tokens that are on Ethereum that were forked over when Pulse Chain launched, that they are genuine, stable coins. And I've talked about PDI in previous streams, my thoughts on it, and my updated thoughts on it. So yeah, I've from a place of common sense, I'm just not going to talk about it because of the admin key nature of MakerDAO and how that's the problems therein, and actually within that, and how that connects to PDI. And yeah, so to me, PDI is not the decentralized stablecoin that some people still promote it as. So yeah, anyway, I hope for crypto, not just for our ecosystem, but crypto at large, that the some kind of decentralized stablecoin, kind of like DAI on Ethereum, is hashed out and is built out, and which can truly and effectively challenge how fiat currency is controlled in the real world. So I think I'll just quickly go into the numerology and astrology stuff before closing out. So today is a mixture of, so it's the 26th of May, 26th day, 8 day, very strong 8 energy. 2 + 6 is 8, but it's the primary energy of the day is a mixture of the 22 and the 4. So even though the 26 is the second strongest energy, only second to the 22 and the 4. So the reason why today is not just a 4 day, it's also a 22, because this current day can be added up and reduced in 2 different ways. So 5 May 26, 2025, 5 + 2 + 6 + 2 + 2 + 5 equals 22. But it can also be added / reduced as 5 + 26 + 2 + 2 + 5, which equals 40, which reduces to 4. So there's there's definitely strong. It's not pure 22 energy, but even partial 22 energy still means that there's a strong level of 22 energy in the day today. So just having that 22 master number energy, and 22 also being, out of all the 3 master numbers, 11, 22, and 33, 22 is the master number that's the most materialism oriented. So just in the context of being a 26 day and 8 day, so the 8 energy, 8 being the number of money and power, in conjunction with the 22 master number energy. 22 is the master builder of master destroyer. But in the context of being the master builder, it's about when you combine the 22 energy with the 8 energy, it's about building building power in the context of money. And you've got the 4 energy as well, and 4 being the number of law and order. 4 is the number of structure, of discipline, of hard work. So I'm putting in the work today. I'm getting that content out there, and harnessing that master number 22 energy with the 8 energy. Yeah, and just in the macro overall, snake, we're in the snake year. If you happen to be born in 1971, 1983, 1995, 2007, these are all pig years, and the pig is the enemy of the snake. Highly recommend people to lay low and just make this specific year up until the end of the snake year to be a contractive year, and just focus on just doing a lot of planning behind the scenes, and just wait before making any big moves and taking any unnecessary risks. To wait until the snake year is over before making any of those kind of moves. So yeah, I think I'll just close it out there, and just I'll quickly see who might still be in the chat. Addy P. Yeah, so great catching you live. Thank you, brother. Over in the UK. Yeah, so yeah, it must be early in the morning in the UK right now. Yeah, you're an old ox. Oh, okay, so you're an ox as well. So yeah, I'm also born in the year of the ox. So yeah, naturally being an ox, this is a very favorable and positive year for us energetically, because the ox and the snake are in the same triad. We have very positive energy this year. So yeah, if you're an ox, you definitely want to be going hard and aggressive, and making the big moves, and not being afraid to. Obviously, there might be some nuance, like depending on your personal year cycle. If you're in a 7 personal year cycle, that might negatively outweigh being in a positive energy year. But aside from that, just overall, if you're an ox, also if you're a rooster, also a good year for you, being in the snake year. So you just put out your birthday, October 8th, 1973. Yeah, so I'm an 85 ox and you're a 73 ox. So and yeah, you're born on October 8th. You're also an 8. So yeah, the 8 is the number of money, power, and karma. So yeah, being 8s, we have to live righteous lives. We can't if we do, if we action or intentionalize negativity, and causing bad karma and doing things that lead to bad karma, it's going to be like a karmic boomerang. It's going to hit us within a short period of time, or if not, like it's just going to hit us harder and hit us faster than any of the other numbers. But it doesn't mean that the other numbers, that people that don't have strong 8 energy, it doesn't mean that the karmic repercussions of their actions won't affect them. It just, they might have to wait till either much later at the end of their life, or most likely in future reincarnations. So yeah, and you'll have in the future reincarnations, you won't have recollection naturally. So, but yeah, for 8s, we have to be very, very mindful and very conscious of our actions and the things we say, the things we do, especially in the context of how it's going to impact us from those actions. So yeah, and you see you saying really interesting. So they're getting into the numerology thanks to yourself. Cool. Yeah, and if whoever happens to be tuning into my streams and they get a little bit of inspiration to do a little bit more of their own digging into and deep diving into numerology and astrology, especially numerology. Yeah, I feel good about that, because my job, because I'm a 33, so my job primarily as a 33 is to influence, to be the master influencer and a master teacher. So yeah, the more positive and powerful influence that I have, whether it's in the context of crypto, whether it's context of numeral astrology, which are the fields that I'm most focusing on and devoting my time and energy into, because they're the fields that I'm most passionate about. The more sobering it is for me to know that I'm having that influence and I'm having that impact and having that positive effect. So anyway, I'll leave that there. Hope whoever's been tuning in, if you can hit the like and subscribe if you're in here and watching and appreciating my content. Appreciate everyone's support out there for my channel, and I'm going to keep being extra active. And yeah, and just to finally, before closing out, if you want to follow all the majority of my content has always been on Twitter/X. So if you're not on Twitter, or even if you are on Twitter and you happen to not be familiar with my Twitter or X account, it's only one account. It's my main primary account. I'm not using any other accounts. And that account is x.com/the real T-Bird Hex. So you'll find me on there. And core focus is crypto overall. But of course, I like to weave in some numerology and astrology content with that alongside the crypto stuff as well. So yeah, so my majority output will consistently remain on there, and yeah, so definitely check me out on there. And if you can follow me on my Twitter account, yeah, every single person that's in there following me and supporting me on Twitter and on YouTube, hugely appreciated. And yeah, I think I'll close there. Onwards and upwards. Looking forward to seeing how everything crypto wise pans out, especially now that we're close to June. I think June is going to be a really interesting month. It's going to definitely, in my opinion, it's going to be more positive than negative with regards to prices. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. So yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.